Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and we're out driving the 2021 Mazda 3 hatch. This is not just any Mazda 3 hatch, it's the turbo model. So we're rocking 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque going to all four tires. I'm going to answer the question right off the bat, is this a hot hatch? Yes and no. It is hot, but it's not spicy. We're talking like just your general jalapeno peppers that you get on a pizza from your local pizza joint. This is no habanero, this is no cayenne, this is not giving your taste buds a death sentence. This is just for someone who wants to have a little bit of that extra spice, but wants to still be responsible and doesn't want to be sitting on the toilet the next morning. But that's not to fault this car. It's actually really, really good. This is the hot hatch for someone who's got 401k, maxes out their Roth contributions every year, but still wants to be able to go out on a nice Sunday afternoon and feel a little excitement, a little twinge down there when they put the throttle all the way through that kickdown button. My biggest complaint from a performance standpoint of this car, it feels soft. The steering feels very filtered. It doesn't feel direct. It feels very different from a Miata. The all-wheel drive gives a dead weight feeling to the car. Get through this corner, hit the gas. Yeah, it puts the power down, but it's shifting at 5,800 RPM. Everything feels a little too calculated, a little too linear to be exciting. Typically, hot hatches get their excitement from sending a lot of power to those front wheels. If you turn, hit the gas, the traction control off, you're going to get some wheel hop. You're pushing the car to its limits at a safe level. This car does allow you to get to the limit, but the limits don't come with much excitement. Now, disclaimer, I am driving this on Bridgestone Blizzak winter tires. So it is possible that if I were to get this thing on some standard rubber in nicer weather, dry roads, I'd be singing a bit of a different tune. But realistically, hot hatches get a lot of their allure by being exciting in all driving situations. They make the daily grind exciting. And I haven't been exactly excited to do daily sort of grind things with this Mazda 3. It's fairly balanced. I'm actually sliding on this wetness right now, but it's staying very neutral. Let's get it out of sport mode, set the cruise control to 70 miles per hour, shut the sunroof cover. Now bear in mind we're on a concrete highway with winter tires and the road is wet. But all that being said, for a $36,000 compact car, this thing is really quiet. If you want to see more on that, we did our highway fuel economy test earlier today, as well as our sound system review on this excellent 12-speaker Bose audio system. There's barely any wind noise. This car just feels a class above, and you're going to hear that from a lot of different reviews. The adaptive cruise control works okay. The lane keeping assist is not nearly as good as some other brands. But the amenities and the fit and finish and the general overall look and appeal of this car are really second to none. The only thing is a darn rattle coming from somewhere up here that I cannot diagnose. It seems to be coming from up by the gauge cluster. But just take a look around here. This beautiful red leather. Everything feels nice to the touch. It looks good. It's functional. Even at this price point, this car's got cornering headlamps. It's got, as I said earlier, a great audio system, very much best in class. You've got windshield washer sprayers that are built into the arms, so it comes right out where you're spraying. Even subtle things like the fact the windshield wipers don't make any sound when they run, and you've got auto windshield wipers. The blinkers sound nice. The climate control is one of the easiest to use. Just press buttons. It's all right there, very straightforward, laid out. So while the driving dynamics might be muted, there's still enough here to have fun. And this car provides a mature, elevated, class-leading interior driving experience for prices that are competitive with all its other segment mates. So if you're looking at a hot hatch purely for driving experience, might I suggest a Veloster N from Hyundai, which is definitely a class above this car, or honestly a Volkswagen GTI, even the Mark 7. But if you're not looking for performance and you're just looking for a solid driver and a solid car to live with, I highly, highly recommend this Mazda 3. Let's take a look around it a bit. The center console is nice in a lot of ways. It's very squishy. You can adjust it. You kind of have a little bit of this area exposed for extra storage, or you can pull it all the way back. You got this little divider. Cup holders are a little far out of the way, and I would like to see wireless charging up here. Something that would not be too hard for Mazda to add. It'd also be nice to have some USB Type-C ports. You've only got 2 USB-A's. Hopping out, you get to see the cool looks mixed with the generally pleasant design of the Mazda 3 in general. I could sort of take or leave the front splitter, and I'm not a fan of this color, but I do have to admit that this car looks objectively good. The C-pillar back here, back section of the car, is a little thick. It does cut down on visibility a tad, and what it really cuts down on is rear seat space. That's probably my biggest complaint with this car. Generally, you buy hatchbacks to be remarkably efficient with their space, but oh man, you go back here, I gotta duck way down to get in as a 5'10" person. They did do little cutouts on the seats for knees to fit, but my footroom is tight, my headroom is tight. If there were anyone taller than a 5'10" person driving this car, it'd be really difficult for adults to sit in the back. Not only that, but how are you supposed to fit a rear-facing car seat in here? You'd have to push that seat way up. So I'd be concerned about living with this car for the rear seat space. There are definitely competitors that do better. But you can tell that rear seat was just not the priority of this car. There's no vents, there's no USB ports, there is a center flip-down armrest, but you just have 2 hard cup holders, and that is it. There aren't even any reading lights. Fortunately, the trunk is a much better layout. Got a nice button under here. Pull that open. Very deep trunk well. You pop this open, you've got a spare tire as well as the Bose subwoofer and amplifier. And the seats can fold down and provide a fairly decent load surface. But again, a little tough to work around there. So, usable, but not the biggest in the class. So I still don't think the Mazda 3 as a model gets as much recognition as it should. I think it is one of the best in this class right now. Would I personally buy the turbo? The answer is no. I don't think it drives exciting enough to justify the price increases, the small drop in fuel economy, and I'd really rather just have front-wheel drive. I'm not someone who... this is about the worst that winter gets where I live, and even when I go up north, a set of winter tires would do me just fine. I'd rather have the less weight, higher efficiency, and better driving experience of a front-wheel drive hot hatch. But other than that, Mazda 3 is an awesome little car. If you want to see more on it, check the links in the description for our fuel economy test and our sound system review, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.